Mm, 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 mm. Hi. Good night. I decided on pajamas tonight, y'all. I got some bomb pajamas today. Like some, them lounge ones. I can't stand up and show y'all the full body. Maybe I'll drop a picture later. But they're from this bomb company called Now and Later. They literally have like comfort wear for quarantine. So I rock in pajamas tonight, eating a Now and Later. Oh, we're gonna go out. Sipping on some wine. We're about to talk about dating. Oh, it's Now and Later, so good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hi, Jerry Lynn. Woo! That is the bomb, y'all. Wow. Wow, wait, hold on. I'm trying to catch myself. Now it never tastes so good. Alright, so tonight we sipping we sipping on something special tonight. So yes I can, Mom. We sipping on something special tonight. So I'm gonna share some news with you guys. So I'm now a sales rep with Regal Spirits. So y'all know you're gonna like to drink. So now I'm gonna be selling y'all the stuff that I consume in my life. So one of the wines that we carry in our brand is the Voga. This is a sparkling rosé. This is it. Trust me. Y'all would have watched me had Zamaka. Y'all would have watching me with the Gemma de Luna. All of these brands, I'm gonna be carrying. You know this watermelon flavor. Only watermelon is have your mouth smooshy like that. So good. So we can talk more about that. The wine brands and what I'm doing with that. I'm gonna drop a flyer on my page too. So y'all can hit me up to get these. I got them bottles, cases. If you're a restaurant or a liquor store and you wanna wholesale, you could hit me up on that too. So we're gonna be doing that. Y'all would have heard me spoke about maybe a couple lives back on my fascination with food and feeding people that I care about. So I'm gonna launch my kitchen as well. I'm gonna give you all some more details on that. That's gonna be launching next week. I gotta enjoy these nails a bit longer. That's gonna be launching next week. I will be dropping a menu while we're in quarantine. Also, Facebook finally stopped being dickish and put the join my live feature back in. So we now can talk like on live together. So what I'm going to be doing now as well, some Saturdays I'm going to be bringing to you Small Business Saturdays, where we're going to be going over some of the tips and tricks that I use when I consult with clients on marketing, social media, business strategy. I'm going to be giving you guys some of those stuff. Yes, the kitchen is going to be located in the SRT. So I'm going to be doing a live to give you guys just free knowledge, free information. And then I'll be selecting 3 or 4 small businesses because we'll have a captivated audience. So I'll be selecting 3 or 4 small businesses to jump on the live with me. Promote your business or promote your project, whatever it is you're working on. Even if it's a situation where you're trying to get something off the ground, we're going to be doing that for Small Business Saturday. So we have a lot of things coming down the pipeline. I am excited, supremely excited for all of the things that are going to come. I would have told y'all on a couple lives back how the pandemic had me in a negative headspace. So I've been battling with that because I lost a major investment walking into COVID. I had made a major investment and that fell through because the environment, the economic environment did not lend itself to make my investment successful. So I had to regroup. So, wine reseller. I'm going to drop the flyer with all of the product listing. Y'all going to see me drinking them. I'll probably give away a bottle or two on the live. As we go through the weeks ahead, I'll be giving away some of the bottles. And then I'm going to be launching my kitchen too. So look out for that. Your girl about to make plates. Oh my God. I'm becoming an IG thought model. I'm making plates. But these are going to be amazing plates because everything I do when it comes to cooking is from my soul. So it's going to be from Roxy with love. And let y'all peek into that. So I know y'all didn't come for me to slap up, put all on the live. We can talk more about that on Sunday when we do small business, on Saturday, sorry, when we do small business Saturdays. If you are a small business and you want this opportunity, shoot me a DM. I'm selecting 3, so I'm going to be reading through what you say in your DM. What I want to hear about your business. I want to hear about what has inspired you to start that business. I want to hear about some of the struggles you've been having with that business. And that's going to help me narrow down the 3 small businesses. You could be male, female, cat, dog. It could be a child who started doing something in the quarantine. That part is irrelevant to me. I just want to give people, I have a platform and I want to give people an opportunity to use it. And it ain't make no sense if only me could win. We all need to win because everybody just trying to come out of this without killing each other. That's the point we all at. So I want to give you guys a platform. So make sure, shoot me the DM. Let's figure out who we gonna get on the lives with us on Saturday. I want to do 3 businesses on Saturday. Yeah, so today's live is about dating. Sorry for all of that introduction. I give us some time to run up the numbers too. So today's live is about dating. Woo! It's my second favorite sound in the world. My first favorite is the little at the ATM. Woo! First favorite sound. That's the second, for sure. So today we're talking about dating. The notebook is right here, ready to go. I'm going to be walking you through the stages of dating because one of the biggest things that I have, one of the biggest things that I've encountered, like when I talk to people about the way they date, they're dating. This is Voga Wine. This is by Regal Spirits, and I'm now an official sales representative for this brand. I'm going to give you guys some more information. I just don't want to make the whole live about wine. But I'm going to give you guys some more information on this so you can get stocked up before we go into quarantine. But one of the biggest things that I found with a lot of people and dating is our process for dating is be out of order. If that makes sense? Like we just skip so much. We skip so much, get to the back end and realize we never should have passed the front. You should, like you end up dating this person, right? You skip the whole part where you learn all that toxic traits and childhood trauma and the dumb shit they just do, and you trip out, and then you realize you gotta go backwards now because this ain't really it. And you've wasted so much time. So today we're going to talk about properly dating, properly going through the process of dating. So I think it's going to be a notes kind of night. If you want to. This can be a screen record kind of night because I got one story for y'all. Let's start. Y'all like that? The story started. Okay, so boom. Any story started, I'm going to be litty. All right, so let's jump in. What is dating? A lot of people confuse dating with being in a relationship. They're not the same thing. Dating is the process that leads to a committed relationship, or however you structure your relationship, but there's some level of commitment. That's what dating is. Dating is the process that leads to that level of commitment. All right? So stop confusing the two. When you date, dating should be a very slow and intentional process. You go through the appropriate stages so that when you get to the point where you are ready to be in a committed relationship, you've done the work to get there. You've analyzed the situation. You've assessed each other's values, the things you can compromise on, the things you can't compromise on. You've done that, and now you're ready to be in a committed relationship. All right? So someone's asking me, I'm going to sidetrack for a second just to let you know. Everything that I'm wearing, hair, nails, everything, I'm going to drop in the description bar when we come off of the live, so you'll be able to get in contact with all of the vendors. The hair is by a new up-and-coming vendor, and I'll have all that information in the live as well. So, boom. Now, let's go straight through. So the first stage of dating is actually meeting the person. I mean, it sounds kind of obvious, right? You can meet a person on the internet, Facebook, on an internet dating site. It could be through a mutual friend. It could be like, oh my goodness, I get one friend, and you would be perfect for her. So they make the introduction. That introduction is the invitation to begin the process of dating. You can begin that process with multiple people at the same time, because there's no level of commitment in the first stages of dating. Absolutely zero. You don't have to date multiple people. I recommend dating multiple people. And when I say dating, again, this is pre-commitment. This is leading to the commitment of a relationship. So we're at the phase where we're trying to get ready to be something. Y'all, we talk. And that's what we say, we talk. We only talking, and it ain't like that. Do that, talk to multiple people. We sort of get latched on one thing, and then we waste so much time and energy because we have nothing to compare that person to. We have nothing to compare that experience to. So for me, I recommend during that first time of dating, you single. You have the ability to do what you want. And also remember, dating is not a sexually heavy thing. You growing. Long as you give consent, you can have sex with whomever you want to. That's on you. But dating does not come with the expectation of sex. It's literally just that pre-season before the season open. You understand what I'm saying? So you're dating, you're getting to know people. You're figuring out if you want to go with this person. Y'all in that first stage. Y'all just met, ain't nothing concrete. Then you move on to the stage that we call curiosity or interest. This way you get to know the person on a superficial level. This way you figure out if you could stand talking in their face if they mouth hot. This is where you say, oh gosh, her favorite color is yellow. I can't do that because I can't stand yellow. This is where you get to be superficial. This is where you get to not be interested in a person for whatever petty reason you want to. There's no commitment. Y'all ain't even in like yet. Y'all just decided that y'all want to explore this process. Now, here's why I think we don't date multiple people in our culture, or we don't engage on this very, very surface level first before we get deep. Because we have this thing, you see someone, see you out with them, y'all, let's go. Y'all in a relationship. They see you out with someone else, you's a hoe. They see you as a dude and you out with everybody, you's a player. You don't know good, man, you's a gallus. So we start to put labels on people, and those labels create this stigma that as humans, you're not allowed to get to know people. Big man, I will go out with Peter on Monday, John on Tuesday. I will go out with Adam for breakfast on Wednesday. Todd could call me for lunch on Wednesday, and I still can answer the phone if Jerry called to carry me to dinner Wednesday night. Because dating is very superficial. It's going for coffee. It's let's go grab ice cream. It ain't $600 in bond. It ain't buying out a whole restaurant spot in Bahama with a hotel room. That's not dating. Y'all trying to buy somebody or impress somebody. That's not the first level of dating. You gotta see if you could even stand to be around a person. And you do that through the little moments. That is when you are in that curiosity phase. What's your favorite color? Is your mom alive? How was your childhood? Where did you grow up? Where did you go to school? Little things that are very important to the process, but still not too deep. All right? So when you move from that stage, curiosity, you've decided here now that it's deep enough that you want to explore this person exclusively. Now you're still in deep in nothing yet. But you've decided her bread ain't hot. Her laces be laid all right. So I ain't gonna be ashamed if I can't. I mean, I know it sounds superficial, but you know I like to crack little jokes. You know, you may say, but I'm alright, he's brushy teeth and he's get a little pedicure. I could stand to see where this go. But then you talk a little bit more, you realize you'll like some of the same things. You'll have some things in common. Everyone else you was talking to, they ain't making no sense. They can't construct a proper sentence. You ain't into that. You decide you want to date this person exclusively. Now, your first stage, introduction. Second stage, the curiosity, interest. Then from there you move to exclusivity. Exclusivity in itself has stages that you go through in dating, because even when you're exclusively dating, you still have not made the commitment to a relationship. See, because that's a different type of thing. Now, you're exclusively dating, right? It's just you and CJ. You and CJ, you're doing one little thing. In the process of exclusivity, you go through a phase called the awkward phase, the honeymoon phase, where you triple. Only things you're looking at is the things that make you happy and smile. Oh my God, I so love when he get his haircut like that. Ah! You all see how my man smell, motto. That little honeymoon phase will trip you out. That's the first phase in exclusively dating, because now you're getting to know each other. You can be around each other a little bit more. You're trying to learn people a little bit more. T, hold on, you can go ask me squawk, yeah? For me tell me you're interested to be married. I have that problem, girl. Don't do that to me. Anyway, everything good. The next part. See, okay, so I see a question here. How long should that take? You can't put a time on it, because through this whole process, and we're going to get to this part, but through this entire process, from the initial meeting to going through the processes in exclusivity, all of that requires open communication. So there's no timeline for it. You can't put a limit on it. Usually, the phase where you're expressing interest before you decide to become exclusive, that phase usually lasts about 3 months. 3-4 months. It should last. Let me say that. Don't say usually, because it really don't know culture. 2 weeks, I'm trying to put a baby in you. And I have that problem. And I got to fix that problem within me. But usually you should take 3 to 4 months to get to know people. All right? So now, we're back into the exclusivity phase. We're looking at the honeymoon phase. This is when you focus so much on the good things. All right? You focusing on all of the things that put the little butterflies in your stomach. The way when you call her name and she looks up and that little smile and little twinkle in her eye. And when she sip on her wine, I only said it's like a sip on the wine. Give me a second. And the way she sip on her wine. Woo! Let's have the boy all out. So that's that phase. You're getting to know the little good things. Keisha, 2 days and you loving me. That's must-see me. I ready to tell you I love you after 5 hours. I jump out. I gotta stop too though. We all have to stop. We gotta learn to properly date, man. Because we'll be killing ourselves out in the long run. So when you come out of that phase, of that honeymoon phase, now, this is important. It is this point in exclusively dating when you decide, are we actually going to move forward to a real relationship? So this is where you go through uncertainty and doubt. That is normal. That is natural. You go through the phase of uncertainty and doubt. When you get to that phase for me personally, that is one of the most important phases of dating exclusively, where communication is so important. See, because remember now, you're leading up to this. So in all this time, you're putting on such a good face that you want to be this great person. It's very, very rare that people are open and honest and who they are from the beginning. Because a lot of people want to be liked. So let's make that clear. A lot of people want to be liked. So when you get to the phase of uncertainty, this is when you start to have those doubts. Is this something that I really want long term? You start analyzing and you take the blinders off. You're past the honeymoon phase. Now you're trying to figure out, first this cologne used to trip you out. Now you're trying to figure out why this nigga gotta wear the same cologne every time he see you. See, all the little stuff starting to work on you now. So you become uncertain. You have this doubt. And this is the point where you have to be open and honest with the person you are dating. This is not the time to shut down. This is not the time to not communicate. This is not the time to have one person saying they're all in or they want to be all in and the next person shutting down but ain't saying nothing. You have to talk through this phase. It is critical. This is the point in exclusivity where you decide if this is going to make sense. Where you decide, do we move to the next phase, which is intimacy. I say sex. I said intimacy. Now, there's a level of sexual intimacy. Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, y'all might have slip up juicing before y'all even reach to this point. Never know. But when you come out of uncertainty and doubt, you've decided you want to pursue this, you go to the phase of intimacy. This is where you bear it all. This is the raw part of dating. This is when you learn about their childhood trauma. This is where you learn who they are as a person. This is where you understand why they think the way they think. This is when they become fully naked in the front of you. The stage of intimacy is so important. It's not about sex. It is not about sex. It is about vulnerability. It is about now you're in a place where you trust someone to be open, to give them a part of you that the world rarely sees. The issue now is if you come out of uncertainty and doubt without addressing the doubts, and you walk into a place where that person is now emotionally naked. They're telling you about their deepest, most innermost insecurities and the things that trigger them, the things that hurt them, but you still have your doubts. I don't call you effed up, but you wrong. You had the opportunity during that phase of uncertainty and doubt to properly express it so that everyone is comfortable moving to the phase of bearing their soul and being naked. See, because once you bare your soul and you're naked to that person, you can't go back. See, because emotional intimacy and vulnerability cannot be reclothed. I can't put that back on. And now I have to carry with me the fact that you've seen me naked when you shouldn't have. I have to now live with the fact that I've allowed you into a part of my life that I should never have. And that's why a lot of relationships, we skip so much of the work ahead of time, or both people aren't on the same page. And then when you get to that part of the relationship, it's like unnecessary heartbreak, unnecessary pain, and especially if you're communicating, someone had the option to opt out and did not. Because you don't just know at that point you don't want to be there. You've been through a process. You've been through a process. You had time to opt out. You didn't. So it's almost like you made a person strip naked so you could laugh at them. It's like you peek through a window. Let me know. That's a bad analogy. Let me dial that analogy back. You seduce a person and you tell them strip naked. And when he take his pants down, you laugh because his dick little. That's a good analogy. That's what you do to someone emotionally when you take them to a place where it's seemingly okay to be vulnerable. And then you leave. And then you leave them hanging. And you stop communicating and you shut down. This is why you have to go through all of the stages of dating appropriately and talk. Open your mouth and talk. If at any point in the process you won't like it, push out. Y'all just feel like y'all gotta stay in something. Ain't no one get no gun to your head. Ain't nobody holding you hostage. Shit. Leave. You can leave. A lot of times we so worried about hurting people's feelings. It gonna hurt their feelings more if you get them to the point to be vulnerable with you and then you ghost them. Don't you think? No. Sippy sip. Sippy sip. I just don't understand why people stay. It makes no sense to me. I can't process that because I don't stay. But I also don't ghost. I'm going to communicate. I'm going to tell you this is what it is. I'm going to say that to you. So when you're coming out of intimacy, well, I would be remiss if I don't mention. Obviously, intimacy is juicing too. So make sure that person could juice, because if y'all trying to be in a committed relationship and monogamy is y'all to do, just remember you got juice this person all the time. And if they can't juice, please use your words and communicate. Move his head to the left if his head needs to move to the left. If she bouncing too hard and too rough, tell her slow it, ease it. Hey, y'all got to talk about your sexual desires as well. But that's a lie on a different day, because I can have a whole sex head for y'all. I promise y'all. But that intimacy part, it's a big thing. The emotional intimacy as well as the sexual intimacy. So make sure everyone on the same page when you're coming out of uncertainty and doubt to get there. You say it, Ali, whack sex is for the birds. We too grown. We are kings and queens. We deserve too much in life to be putting up with whack-ass sex. On God, I'm a sip now. All right. So we've passed that part. Intimacy on lock. We here. We are now deciding to be in a relationship. This is where the stage of exclusivity transcends to partnership. Y'all see how long we take to get here? Y'all see how much stages we went through? We ain't hold hands in the courtyard and say we scope. We went through a process because you deserve a process. Think about it like this. All of the trauma and heartbreak you have, y'all realize we've been working on a healing process. Y'all see how much it takes to heal? Do y'all understand the processes that goes into healing? Why would you want to put yourself in a position to have to go through that process when you can date right, so that you don't end up in a relationship that's going to be filled with trauma and something that you're going to need to heal from? You understand? If you could just look at it that way, it makes you understand that walking this process is far more important, because when you skip these processes, then you end up gotta go through the process of healing. And that's a harder process to go through. That's a harder process to go through. In the process of dating to get to, and we're gonna talk about partnership, but in the process of dating to get to the stage where we become partners, this is where you learn about the person. And always remember that people's trauma can affect you the same way it affects them. Understand that. So in your dating, in your intimate moments, when you're becoming vulnerable, and mind you, after intimacy, you can still leave. If the stage of intimacy is the reason you realize you're not good for each other, you can still leave. I'm not saying that when you get to intimacy, it's too late. Shit, we about to be in a relationship. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying don't take me to the point of intimacy if I can't trust you to be there with me. All right? That's what we're talking about. But also, pay attention to people's trauma. Some people want to be in a relationship, but they haven't healed, and they're incapable of it and don't know how to verbalize that. They don't know how to say that to you. And no matter how strong of a person you are, no matter how amazing of a person you are, there's nothing you can do to make them ready. Sometimes we force relationships on people, and I'm guilty of it. I hand across my chest, pledge allegiance to the, who is pledge allegiance to? The flag? The who? The what? Whoever you got to pledge allegiance to. I am guilty of it. Because I had to learn that I can't force my love onto someone. I'm a big lover. I love big. Woo! Jesus. I love big. Ain't nothing you can't get from me so long as I have it. There's no part of me that you don't have access to. Mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm that person. And I had to learn now that I have to go through the whole process of dating to make it to the person who deserves that part of me. Everyone don't deserve that part of you. Everyone don't deserve that energy. And we got to stop jumping the gun. We have to. Because then we end up hurt. And if you're the person who's healed and you're with someone who's hurt and you're forcing this love because you feel you can love them through their pain, you can love them out of their pain. You cannot. They have to love themselves out of their pain. They have to be ready. Because the only thing it's going to do is traumatize you, make you second guess you, make you try to figure out, do you deserve love at all? We have to stop loving trauma-filled people. That's not your job. That is not your job. Let these people heal. Because they only come in to disrupt your peace. Let them heal in peace. So, now, partnership. I am a partnership freak. Whatever you into, I into. For everyone, getting to the stage of partnership looks different. For some people, it may be moving in together. For some people, it may be a business. For some people, it might be engagement. You might come through that process on the other side, engaged, ready for marriage. Everyone's process is different. For me, this is me. This is me. This is me. Partnership, I have to be able to form some type of business partnership with the person. And it doesn't have to be we open a business together, but it can just be supporting what that person does. I've said time and time again on lives that I want to be a housewife, but I'm business savvy. I know dummy. And I tell you, like it reverse, just using mirrors. I feel like I wife material, man. Like I got it. But I know that for me, partnership looks like building with that person. Sometimes that building is just support and pushing what they want to the forefront. Sometimes that building is knowing when you need to give them just a little bit of space because their thought process needs it. For some people, it's moving in together. Some people, it's being in each other's living space. For some people, that partnership, it doesn't look like any of that. It's something that they've creatively and uniquely designed, but it's an attachment that they value. And in their world, it shows their commitment to each other. Because when you're at the stage of partnership, there's an undoubted commitment. Undoubtedly, you are committed to this relationship, however you have designed it. And honestly, that's another lie for another day, because a lot of us too, when you get to the stage of partnership, when you get to the point where you're designing, when you're designing what your partnership looks like, a lot of times we try to take everyone else's model and we don't design our own model. When it comes to partnership, design a model that works for you and your partner, because it lays a foundation that allows you to get to the next step. You can't skip these steps. I'm telling y'all. I promise y'all, if you reflect, everybody I feel has one. If you've dated a lot, or if you used to go with plenty of people or go with enough people and you don't go with none of them people no more, everyone I feel, or almost everyone, can look back and think about someone who they were in a relationship with at some point and no longer together. But when you reflect, you almost think, damn, that might have could have worked. Maybe we came into each other's lives at the wrong time. It's those type of relationships that make you wish you went through this process of dating. And as we get older, we want stability. No one wants to just be lonely. Not everyone don't want marriage, but no one wants to just be lonely. We're not designed to be lonely. We're designed to love. We're designed to give love. We're designed to receive love. Love is natural. Love is innate. Love is almost automatic. However, finding that person, there's a process. And we got to go through the process to avoid having to heal from trauma over and over and over again. And listen to me carefully. It is okay to be single. It is okay to be single. It is okay to be single. And I know sometimes singleness gets lonely, but that is why you have that first phase of dating. Because casual dating in that first phase, you could go to dinner for company. You could say, hey, I would take you out for dinner. And now you fill that empty void, and you're not now making these rash decisions to just jump in a relationship with any and everybody because you ain't ready. But you're not letting loneliness get the best of you. Sometimes loneliness gets the best of us. And by us, I mean me. And by me, I mean y'all. And by y'all, I mean us. Loneliness has beat us bad. Because we're designed for human contact, we start making these rash emotional decisions out of loneliness. Ain't nothing wrong with finding yourself. There's nothing wrong with being single. You know what I would like us to change our thinking on? A lot of times we go looking for our better half. Right? Follow me. We go out looking for our better half. So if we're looking for our better half, that means society is telling us we need another human to be whole. So you coming into relationship under the subconscious impression that you only need to be half a human because the other person's job is to make you whole. Frig that. Stay single and work on becoming a whole human so you walk into a relationship emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and sometimes financially healthy. Nothing wrong with that. I don't want a half a human. I don't want someone who wants to be my better half. I want a whole human to complement my boss ass shit. That's what I want. And y'all have to get to the point where we stop depending on someone else to complete us. Walk into these relationships whole. Mentally whole. Emotionally whole. You have healed from your trauma. Stop taking your trauma and jacking it on people for the sake of not being lonely. We killing each other. We killing each other unnecessarily. We putting each other into depression unnecessarily. Because I'm giving you all I have to give. And you ain't ready for it, but you making me feel you are. We causing each other trust issues. It ain't necessary. Y'all gonna be single and live life. That don't mean you can't go on dates with dudes. That don't mean when someone tell you, man, sweet girl, get pretty, I can't bring you to dinner tonight. Nothing wrong with that. Because you're communicating effectively. You've put boundaries in place. You know which boundaries you're not crossing. You're saying to them, I'd love to take you to dinner, but please don't expect us to lead to something sexual or anything more. You say that. So when you're in your singleness, find yourself. Walk into the relationships whole. Let's eliminate this mentality of finding our better half. Let's eliminate that. Let's seek to be with whole, healthy humans who become our partners in life. I don't need no one to complete me. I want to be whole when I come to you. I need you to be whole when you come to me. I need you to heal. I need to heal. I need to work on me, and I need you to be out there working on you. Because this ain't no half wipe. We coming to each other healthy. We killing that toxic shit. We don't need no one to complete us. We need someone to complement us. Completion isn't the goal. We need someone to complement us. And this is where we go wrong. You searching for yourself in other people. You can only find yourself in you, baby. No one else have it. No one else have it. So when you're walking into these relationships, do the healing that you need to do and stop putting your trauma on people. Shamara, I want to give you my heart too, Daddy. I want to give you my heart too. But I want to give you my whole heart, not pieces of it. I want you to have my whole heart. And the worst thing for a person who's healing and who's undergoing healing and who loves themselves now and who's ready to give their whole heart, the worst thing in the world is to be with someone who don't have the ability to offer the same. And then you're back to trying to heal again. We can't keep doing that to ourselves. We can't stay in that shitty cycle. We have to love us enough to know when we see toxicity coming from a mile away. Whoa, Daddy. Back it up. We could go eat some steak, but that's as far as this going. You got some healing to do, and I'm tripping off you. This right here. Baby, the process this done gone through, the peace of mind this is in, the place this sitting at, ain't no one coming to disrupt that. By the type of tears I cry when my heart break, but you're lucky I cheat. Rest of God. Them heartbreaks for me is hit different. Them heartbreaks for me is hit different. And me knowing that I try my best not to put myself in those type of situations, and sometimes you can't avoid it. But when you go through that process of dating, you have the ability to weed it out before you get to that place. Child Georgette, listen to me. The tears I done had over the last 2 days. Sis, water and sewage should cut off my water and I still could be in this bitch. I telling you all. You just have to cry yourself through it sometimes too. You just have to cry yourself through it sometimes. And it's a couple things, like we talked about the stages, but there's a couple things that you have to make sure you address as you're dating. And we touched on it earlier, but communication. Especially if you're going to date multiple people in the beginning, that communication is pivotal. Every single stage that you have been through and going through in dating, you have to be communicative. I like the words, roll off your tongue. Communication is very important. Because you need to communicate very clear your intentions. You need to communicate very clear the pace that you want this to go. See, because without communication, you will have your heart broken every time. And communication is not one-sided. One person can't be doing all the talking and all the expressing and the next person shutting down or just haphazardly agreeing. McConan, that is it. You make it clear you're dating other people. There's no expectation of exclusivity. When you're ready to move to the next level where you want to be exclusive, you communicate that too, because the other person may not be there yet. And this is why a lot of our relationships fail, because people don't talk. And a lot of people don't talk because a lot of y'all ma-effers don't know how to listen. Y'all only know how to listen to respond. Y'all don't listen to understand. Y'all ain't trying to really hear what that person is saying to you. So they stop talking because you won't listen. See, me, and I'm a firm believer in boundaries. If you put boundaries in place, if you talk to me, if you let me know this is what it is, I'm there with you. I am there with you. But what you cannot do to me is shut down. Because I need that. I need that constant communication. I have to have it. Because it sets the compass for the relationship. It tells us where we're going. Communication tells you where you're going. Because if at some point what you want changes, what I want changes, we got to tell each other that. Because if you don't say it to me, I am still operating under the premise that we're working toward the same goal we laid out from day one. But no, that's changed and you didn't say anything to me. You have to communicate effectively through all stages. The next important thing when dating, my God, is honesty. Woo! Honesty. Spell it forward, spell it backward. Honesty is the best policy. You all see it straight through primary school. Stop assuming the other person cannot handle the truth. Did y'all hear me? Stop assuming the other person cannot handle the truth. Because I'd rather hurt you with the truth than you have to heal from a lie. I'd rather hurt you with the truth than to watch you heal from a lie. What you want, be honest. What you're able to give in the relationship, be honest. If you can't expect certain things from that person, be honest. Say what it is. The only thing I can say to you is, yes, I accept these terms, or no, I cannot. Either way, you're gonna dad, daddy. You're gonna dad. Honesty. Another notion to stop thinking. Stop operating under the premise everyone can handle the truth. I don't give a shit if you can handle the truth. You about to get this truth. How you handle it is a personal problem. That ain't shit to do with me. But what I'm not gonna do is lie. What I'm not gonna do is fake my intentions. What I'm not gonna do is not make my intentions clear. I don't care if you can handle the truth. The truth might hurt you, but we can work through that. But it's the truth. A lie will break your belly down, no. You ain't coming back from a lie. See, because with the lie now, you got trust issues, insecurities, all this other shit come from the lie. At least with the truth, you know where you stand. Y'all gotta start being honest. Stop assuming people can't handle it. That ain't your problem. Who can handle what ain't get shit to do with you? Give these people the truth. Stop playing with people's emotions. Stop playing with people's emotions. Because y'all gonna buck up on the wrong one day. The next thing, and we just mentioned it, when you dating, clarity of direction is pivotal. Y'all need to be on the same page with where this relationship going, where it's moving, what y'all doing. That need to be clear. See, one person can't be saying it and the next person ain't saying shit. There has to be clarity. Y'all have to move in sync. Now, moving in sync doesn't necessarily mean y'all moving at the same time. Moving in sync means that you're both moving in the same direction. One may take a little longer, but the fact that they want to get there hasn't changed. But there has to be clarity in the direction that you want the relationship to go. If you buck up in my DM and you just want juice, stop it up. Don't try all the sweet talking shit. Just say by rocks and angle that body right, I want smash. I only can tell you yes or no. But why you gonna carry me through this ringer and cause me get all emotionally involved and then still give me whack sex? What? Now I feel like I gotta fight you. I gotta go pick up my girl and yell and let me get a gang you, daddy. We have to get you now. But let them know what your intentions are, where you trying to go with this relationship, what you into. Sometimes they into what you into. Sometimes they are not. But when you lead with a lie and you don't make your intentions clear, then you might as well have a gun to their head because you almost theoretically holding them hostage because they believe in something totally different. That's all I say. The next thing, you have to make sure when you're dating a person, you got to be attentive. You have to pay attention. You have to pay attention because remember now, you're getting to know a person. If you see something and you're trying to move long term into a relationship, that's a direction you're heading into. You got to pay attention. Because what the attentiveness does, it allows you to see red flags, things that may cause you want to step out of the stages, step out of the process of dating now. You may want to bow out gracefully and say, okay, this is no longer for me. But attentiveness also, it's attached to making sure you know what your partner needs, what they want. Is root beer their favorite soda or is it orange? Or did they only drink orange at one time but they really like root beer? You start to pay attention to details because it makes the dating experience that much better. And make sure when you're dating, don't lose sight of creativity. Because when you've passed the phase where y'all getting to know each other and trying to decide if y'all want to do this, and y'all reach to exclusivity and it's just the two of you, that creativity, it's a dot. See, because dating requires effort, and effort cannot be one-sided. Dating requires effort. That effort shows its way through in your creativity as well. And it's the little things. It's the date night that's in. But it's his favorite movie from his childhood that he hasn't seen in years. It's making his favorite dish the way his mom used to make it. And she passed not too long ago. It's about connecting the sentimentality of dating to practicality. So it's about making sure that you don't have to spend $1 million to date a person, but if you pay attention, you can sometimes recreate that sentimentality in practical ways. You can't lose the creativity. That effort goes a long way. Finally, my last rule in the dating process: know when to let go. Know when to cut the loss and push out. Know when to let go. Just because you're there, just because you've gone through every stage of dating, you're just about to maybe be partners and you ain't feeling it no more. It ain't working no more. Cut ties. Stop wasting people time. You can't get time back. You can't get energy back. You can't get feelings back. Listen to me. Cut ties. Cutting ties isn't about ghosting a person. Cutting ties is about having an adult conversation to say, this is no longer in line with what I want. You're a great person. You're just not great for me. You're someone who would make an amazing partner for someone else, just not for me. I'm not ready for this yet. See, you gotta be grown. See, dating for grown-ups, dating for children. Dating is not for the immature. Dating requires maturity. Because through every phase, you got to be mature enough to communicate and to express your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas. Whatever it is going on in this process, you got to be able to effectively express it. Even letting go. See, because when you get to the point where you ghosting people, you do more damage than good. And it ain't even necessary. Because if we grown, if up to this point, we've gone through the stages and so far we haven't had major issues in the stages, but we get to this one point where we can't see eye to eye, or we can't get past, or we're not able to build from here. We've been communicating all this time. Why can't we have a conversation to cut ties? Y'all gotta stop ghosting people, babe. You have to. See, because when you go through the stages of dating, right? Remember, there's always going to be a release of energy. People are coming into your space. People are having access to your energy. Everyone doesn't deserve that. That's number one. That's the importance of going through the stages. Because in the beginning, you're not supposed to give that. You have to put boundaries in place for yourself. That is one of the biggest things that I struggle with. Because when I buck up on you and you vibe, right, I be ready to jump in head first. I won't give you my heart, daddy. That's me. And I'm working on it. But when you take someone like me, and then you go through this, there's seemingly no issue. There's seemingly nothing was wrong. And then you ghost. Or all of a sudden, everything seems wrong. You know, it causes that person to question. And that's not fair to that person. And if we're gonna say that we're healing and we're trying not to hurt people the way other people have hurt us, we have to dig deep and look at those toxic type of traits and make sure that we're not doing them to other people, even if it's coming from a place of hurt. If your toxic traits are coming from a place of hurt, then don't engage people. Try to realize that, understand that, and do what it takes to heal before you have to hurt someone else. You know what I mean? Like, y'all ready for my dating story? I can start my story off with, okay, so boom. Throw me some hearts in the comment if you're ready for my dating story, man. And I waiting on my hearts. I gonna wait. Let me see. If I don't get enough hearts, I ain't gonna tell you all the story. I see the hearts coming on the like side. Let me see if I can get some. Let me see if I can get some hearts in the comment section. Just sitting here. Hearts coming. I can need more hearts than that. I can need more hearts than that. And I'm coming back to answer some of these questions too, because I see some good questions, Lord. Start the vibe, daddy. The heart's coming over. Oh, the heart's coming now. Okay, so boom. I just love to start a story like that. So, I've been single for a while. Since last year. I've been single since last year. So, I think I've dated maybe one or two people. And by date, I literally mean casually date. Not even in a sexual sense. Like, you didn't even get that far. Yeah. So, in my dating process, this is no destiny. I won't delete this live. In my dating process, I started to see someone else. And this is why I can say to you how important it is to go through the process, right? So that's me. We slap up for 1 little week, 1 little 2 weeks. And mark I single. Not one single. Like, I just want to give you my heart, daddy. Single. Okay, so talking to this person, we had an agreement that neither person was ready for no relationship. Well, I said it first that I wasn't ready for a relationship. I just wanted a date. I did have sexual intentions with the person though. Made that clear as well from the beginning. I wanted a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I said that. But I ended up really liking the person's vibe. So this is why I say you still gotta date. Alright? Gone through the whole vibing. And although I said I wasn't ready for whatever, I started to feel more than I should have felt. I started to feel more than I expected to feel with this person. Still didn't go through the full dating process. I skipped from like, I want a relationship, I just want juice, to, but I ready to plan vacations in Greece when outside open. Like from 0 to 100, dead quick, because the vibe was nice. Communication, seemingly, same page. And this is also why I say communication is key. You have to make sure that the person communicating on the same level as you. So right, daddy, here we go. I taking now. I ready to All right, I might be ready for a relationship sooner than I thought. I may be ready to say clank, clanky, girl, locked on. We going through. When I say, and for me, little things are super important. I mean, I could buy you shit too, but little things are super important because they the things that take up my day. They take up my time. Acts of service is my love language. This is how I show you better than I could tell you. I would run your errands, I cooking for you, whatever you want, I can deal with that, it don't matter. Whatever you into, I into. I there, right? Thinking we good. Alright. How about, let's say it's a Wednesday, the last time I talked to this person. We had some words. There wasn't no argument. We exchanged words and it was clear that we needed to talk. How is it I ain't talk to the person if it was Wednesday? What today is? So let's say it's Wednesday today was the last day I talked to the person. Let's say 3-4 days later I still didn't hear from the person. Let me change the Nanji. Let's say Friday was the last day I talked to the person. Today I still didn't talk to the person. And it's like, y'all ever been in a situation where the person got from hot to cold like that and you like literally can't fucking understand? Okay. So that's it. And for me, it was weird as hell because I'm now in a healed place. Now, healing is always going to be a process, right? Healing always can be a process. But I was in a healed place. So coming from a healed place, it's a different type of, when you ghost a person in a healed place, who doing and who there and who ain't pressuring and who respecting your boundaries and everything. When you ghost a person like that, it now has that person second guessing, what did I do wrong? Like I get completely ghosted. Like Casper ain't get shit on this fucking human. Completely ghosted. And it's okay. No hard feelings in case they on the live. No hard feelings. But my thing is, it could have been a conversation. Then I wouldn't have spent 2 days snotty. It could have been a conversation. You understand? And for me, it makes you step back. And that's it right there, T. No show, no call. You fired. It makes you step back now and try to figure out, what did you do wrong? And I literally sitting like, wait, I don't even know. I don't even know, Daddy. And to answer your question, no, I have not heard from the person. I don't know. I haven't heard from him. So, go through the dating process. I mean, I know it seemed like a simple story, but if you're a person with a big heart or you're the type of person who does and you get ghosted, but that's a different type of hurt, babe. It's like dropping someone all the way in Adelaide and leaving them. Y'all know you no bus running from in the mark now. That's all I say. So you got to make sure that when you go into the process, you go through it through the right stages. Make sure that everybody communicating on the same level. Because it ain't fair to no one involved. You know, at the end of the day, I might have been the problem for Joe. I might have scared a human away. I don't know. I wouldn't know because I haven't spoken to them. We didn't have the conversation we were supposed to have. So, for me, I could have come on too strong. Their expectations may have changed. But all I'm saying is, when you're going through the dating process, make sure that, and Blake, you saying the relationship's getting, but I wasn't looking for the relationship. We were on the same page with that. Anyway, so all I'm saying is make sure that everybody on the same page, and if you ain't, then it's okay to hop off the bus, but shit, at least say bus stop and tell the driver you gotta go. God damn. Don't just tuck and roll while the bus running. That's all I say. You know, I don't know if can I scroll back? Because there were some good questions that I think I might want to answer. I don't know. If you had a question and you want to drop your question back in, go ahead and drop your question back in. I'll take 1 or 2 questions real quick. But yeah, we gotta learn to date. See, dating isn't a thing in our culture. We frown upon it, so to speak. I mean, almost frown upon it. I'd rather call it frown upon it. So for a lot of times, okay, I'm reading a comment. So the comment says, to be honest, and this is as honest as I can be, if things were always good, eventually you'd get bored of the relationship. Not saying that they should have ghosted you, but the crying that you did because of them will build your emotions if relationships continue. Build your emotions if that relationship or if a relationship continues, because that's 2 different commentaries. Now, the relationship, in my opinion, wasn't boring, but I can't speak for the other person's perspective. You draw a good point. Everyone's ideal relationship is on them, what they're looking for. But my issue, where I take issue with it is, it still could have been a conversation. Hey, I'm bored. All right. Is there anything I can do to recapture your interest? And I think that's where we go wrong. We make decisions in our head for everyone involved instead of involving everyone to make the decisions together. And that's what communication allows. It allows you to involve everyone in making the decisions together. Now, as far as when I cry, crying doesn't build emotion for me. Crying allows me to release emotion. Crying allows me to heal. Crying allows me to let go. Crying allows me to move on. That's what crying does for me. So it's not a build up of emotion. It's a healthy release of emotion for me. Everyone's crying is different, but that's what mine is. And then I don't get to cry often because I'm usually the strong person. So when I do have a moment where I break down and I need to cry, I have to get it out. Because then I go, see, for me, when you're battling mental health, you have to know sometimes you gotta let some shit go and don't dwell. Because it puts you in a dark place that you don't want to be in. And emotional scarring, emotional pain, emotional hurt has a tendency to do that faster than anything. So, yeah, so that was my response to that comment. All right, what else do we have? Would you say Bahamians don't? Yeah, I actually addressed that in the beginning. I don't think Bahamians really know how to date. And I think a lot of it is our society. We have this whole slut syndrome. Like, if you seen with a person, you together, and if you seen with someone else, you's a hoe. I don't like it. Bahamians don't know what dating is, and dating is the process leading up to deciding to be in a committed relationship. That's literally what it is. Okay, so Blake says the person may have been looking for a relationship and then knew you wasn't into one. And I would agree with you under normal circumstances, but a conversation was actually had that there is the possibility of moving toward a relationship, and I would like to work toward it. They explicitly said they weren't ready for one either. So that one, and this is why I have issue. I take issue with sorting the argument out of my head, because we spoke about everything leading up to. What else? Sometimes those conversations cause you to get tricked back into a toxic situation. That's because you're dealing with a finesse. They telling you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. And that's the difference too. But if a leopard doesn't change their spots, why would you assume they're no longer a leopard? You shouldn't be able to get tricked back. Because conversations aren't just conversations. They should be attached to action. You should see it. There should be follow through. So the difficulty is you only listening to them slap up. You're watching to see if the adjustments were made before you jump back into that toxic situation. Okay, so how do you deal with an ex who in a relationship and they still won't juice you? That's totally up to you. Y'all grown and consenting. I only can give commentary if it's a marriage. I would say don't break up the bloody marriage. But let me tell you, listen, what y'all decide to do can be your business. Everybody is going to understand that there's a risk and something that to be lost. If y'all decide to gamble and take the risk, that's on y'all. If you don't want it, tell them no. Just tell them no. Alright. Some people are afraid to be vulnerable within communication. Okay, so when we spoke about getting to the stage of intimacy, that's what that's about. Because you have to make that person comfortable and show that there's going to be some progression toward a future to get to the point of intimacy. Intimacy ain't jokey. Intimacy ain't jokey. When someone bears their soul to you and someone comes to you completely naked, you got to be able to be trusted and to handle that with care. You have to. If you made it to that point, that's your duty as a decent human to handle that with care. So we have a question here. How can you help your partner to rebuild trust in you, seeing that you were the one who broke it, or that you did, or you were the one who broke it, or you did something to cause them not to trust you? Okay, so this is a little off topic because this is more inside of a relationship, but I'll address it because it's a good question. I had this question in my inbox before too. One of the things with rebuilding trust is a process. It comes with forgiveness and it comes with letting go. All of that has to happen to rebuild trust. Trust within a committed relationship, trust within a marriage, that's one of the hardest, especially if that trust is attached to infidelity. Building that trust back takes work. And you can't pressure that person because it's a process. It's like grief. It's like grief. You have to make sure that you do everything that that person needs. See, rebuilding trust is a conversation. You got to talk through that because your partner needs to be able to say to you, this is what I need to rebuild this trust. This is what I need to see from you to gain this trust back, but also understand this is going to take time. Time is the answer to your question. You cannot pressure them. You just do your part. You have to show them. You have to show them. If a man and a woman single, no matter what people think, that's not a question. Do you believe in female intuition? And if you have it, does it make you insecure? Wow. Also off topic, very good question. Still gonna answer it. I firmly believe in female intuition. But I also believe that the world has beaten us down so much into conforming to its ideals and telling us what a woman is supposed to be, we stop listening. You know what female intuition is? Female intuition is that gut feeling in the pit of your stomach telling you, don't move, stay still. Telling you, he ain't the one. Telling you, this is toxic. Telling you, something's going on with your kids. We stop listening to that because there's so much noise coming from the outside. We can't hear it. I believe in female intuition. You need to pray. You need to meditate. You need to become whole with yourself. You need to surround yourself in a sisterhood of women who want to build you up so you can hear your voice again. Female intuition will never make you insecure. It will always make you strong. Woo! That's the word. We got to get back to listening to ourselves and believing ourselves. Trusting our gut. That's a serious thing. It'll save you from plenty heartache. All right. I'm going to take one more question. Then it's time to drink. Y'all ain't even let me drink on the slide, man. Y'all just be swinging me. I think y'all trying to put me low-key in Alcoholic Anonymous. All right. Let me see. Okay, so I hope I pronounced Klamish. That's how I'm pronouncing. I hope I'm pronouncing it right because I want to address your question. This is the last question. Even though I would have addressed it earlier in the live, we didn't have as much viewers, so there's some people that just joining. She asked to give the definition of dating and dating exclusively, because hoe shaming is a common issue, as well as some men and women don't know the difference. We did address it earlier, and we're going to assume you just hopped on the live. So the definition of dating and dating exclusively, there's dating exclusively, and in a committed relationship. It's 3. That ain't even a one-shot ride. Dating is the initial process of deciding if you want to exclusively get to know a person. Dating is the first step just to decide, do you want to exclusively get to know a person? You could date multiple people. And y'all gotta stop calling people hoes for that. Because every time you date a person, every time you with a person, every time you go with a person, don't mean you juicing a person. Y'all really can't be that shallow. Because my thing is, if that's what you think, then you got to be the loose one. Because you only can think what you know. And if that's what you think, then that's what you know. And if that's what you know, then that's what you're doing. So it got to be you. It can't be me. Stop that. Every time you go with a person, don't mean you juicing a person. So that dating, you could date multiple people. Get to know people. And then decide, all right, so I guess CJ, DJ, and EJ. I like these J's for some reason. CJ, DJ, EJ. All right. We was going out on little dates here and there. For a little 2 months. I was honest with everyone. I let them know that I'm openly dating right now. And that's key. You have to be honest. But I decided, something I really like. CJ. I want to exclusively date him. We still ain't in no relationship. But we have decided that we're just going to get to know each other. Only each other at this point. To see if we can build to being in a committed relationship. See, these the steps y'all skipping. He blowing your air and buy you Hennessy in the club and now y'all let's go. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Then when you've decided through that exclusively dating process, where you've been through the honeymoon phase, you've battled through uncertainty and doubt, and now you're deciding to be vulnerable and get to the place of intimacy to decide if you can make it to the point of partnership. Partnership is where the relationship starts. That's where the commitment begins. That's when we say we are doing this. All right? So, I hope I answered all your questions. And for the question that they thought I didn't see scrolling up, yes, the person on this live tonight. Be blessed.